Good evening, everybody. We got here a 1v1 once again between two pro players, and this time the key is going to be the Bohemians, one of the new civilizations that have dropped now, and not too much knowledge about what the meta is going to be with them. Bit of unique techs with their strong cannons, their early chemistry upgrades, and I haven't really seen too much of their unique units in action, as a matter of fact. So I will be hoping that we can see some of the nice little upgrades that we do see, but before we get into those, let's get into the players. So in the red, we do have playing as the Bohemians Bad Koala, and his enemy in the blue playing as the Turks is Lick. So interesting choice to go Turks and Bohemians, seeing who is the better gunpowder hand cannon civilization of the two of them. Both of these teams, oh, I will slow down here as we do see an engagement. The scout quickly picking off the villager of Licks. Licks, of course, not having loom at this point in time. I will slow down a little bit as the Dark Age only a few minutes in and already a villager down for Licks, so that is a big effect on the economy moving forward. But of course, seeing the Turks versus Bohemians, see who is the powerhouse gunpowder civilization and what we can expect out of the two of them. And Licks running right into the town center at this point in time. He will lose some HP, and deciding to run underneath it, he loses his entire scout. So interestingly enough, Bad Koala choosing to engage and still having more scout HP than the enemy. And so here we go, both players going up to the next age, but Bad Koala choosing to stay just that little bit of extra time in the Dark Age so that he can get one more villager out. See if that pays off, or if he will hope that he went a bit quicker, because we already see a barracks being dropped for Licks, and he will be no doubt dropping down a second military building after that. Bad Koala just trying to irritate these villagers on the wood line for now. Taking a look at Licks, nothing on gold. We will likely see scouts for him, which is always a bit of an advantage for the Turks. Having that free light cavalry upgrade just gives a bit of a bonus when he gets to the next age. And these villagers just going to collect wood for a little while, and no doubt they will be dropping a stable, enough wood and enough food for a few scouts. But we'll see what the response is, because one of the big benefits of playing as the Bohemians is the spearman strength. They do have that bonus, and so because of this bonus, I'm not sure if scouts is exactly the right play to go for, but I don't think there's another option at this point in time for the Turk player. We see an archery range for Bad Koala right off the bat, so if we just get one spear, a couple archers in here, he is fully walled off in this little tight base. Only two villagers on gold for now, but he is fully walled off, and Licks looking to make a big wall off at this point in time, walling his entire base, getting almost a quarter of the map in the back of these walls. So hopefully we're not seeing him stretch too thin with the walls, and luckily he does have a wood line here he can run over and repair behind. Same with here on this side, so that is always one of the biggest risks of big walls, is not being able to get over to the corner in time to repair or build behind. But I don't think that'll be a problem for Licks at this point in time. And we do see the walls coming to a close, and there will be no military in his base. In the meantime, Licks still scouting out. He does have fairly good scouting of the enemy, all things considered, but he will now know that there are spears and archers on the field, and so that is enough for him to know what to do. And of course, Bad Koala seeing that scout lets him know that Licks is also going for scouts. But both players fully walled up right now. Bad Koala still with that one villager lead, and that is really going to continue to compound, because if you think about it, that is a consistent flow of resources, and that is enough for, say, fletching. That fletching upgrade might be free just because he has that extra villager that was collecting resources for the last 6 minutes. It was 6 minutes into the game. I guess 7 minutes. It was 6 minutes into the game that that villager did fall. And now scouts are coming forward, but 1 or 2 scouts will not be enough to engage against this. I have not yet seen the Bohemian spears in action against scouts, but with that bonus, they are a force to be reckoned with. And you know, that one spearman might be enough to scare them away, as we already see fletching in place for the Bohemian player, and the scouts from Licks looking to get some sort of damage in, but he is going to hit a fully walled enemy, unable to hit the berries, unable to get in. He might be able to sneak in here, but that is unlikely at this point in time. These archers just being irritating, and luckily Licks did have the villagers on the wood line here and able to wall up before any real pressure could be seen. So now we see 4 scouts against a spearman and 4 archers. Don't think it's quite enough yet to engage, but I can tell that Licks is thinking about it. This scout coming out might make it so that he can actually engage, and he does. He's running in, thinking about engaging. He better do it quickly, because there are reinforcements for Bad Koala in the back, and this spearman able to take out 1 scout immediately, but the scout and spearman are down. Now we have 4 scouts attacking these 8 archers. Those reinforcements being so huge, as we do see more and more coming forward. At the end of the day, the scouts will all go down, but getting some value in it at the end, at least getting 1 last kill, and he does. So now we see 4 archers, thus 5 archers killed, 1 spearman, and 1 scout for the price of 5 scouts. Was it worth it? Probably pretty even at that point in time. Maybe a little bit more value for the scouts, as he was not losing any gold units. Of course, Licks only going on to gold recently, as both of the players, now that they are fully walled up, they do have their buildings ready, so they will be looking to get up to the next age. Both very close. Bad Koala just that little bit closer, as he has had that little bit of an advantage when it comes to economy. And of course, Licks did decide not to go for any of the wheelbarrow upgrades as of yet, so that is why there is a little bit of a delay for Bad Koala's villager count. Both of the players on the way up to the next age, and Licks still making scouts, actually adding a second stable here as well. These scouts will be upgraded to light cav as soon as they reach the next age, and that will give just that little bit of a bonus and that bit of a power strike for the Turk player. But the Bohemians, of course, in the Castle Age, that's where they will get their power strike. They will have access to chemistry, and that will set them up ahead. And so, of course, having that early chemistry does make your archers just that much stronger early on in the game. It's not just about getting the hand cannons in Castle Age, it's also about getting the bonus on your archers, on your crossbows, once they come in. And of course, Licks' response is Bloodlines, as well as the first defense, second defense upgrade. And so he will have defense on his units, and he is now running out to see what he can do, as these will be light cavalry as soon as the next stage is hit. But look at the force he is up against. That is 3 spearmen and 12 archers, soon to be crossbows with bodkin arrows. So 4 scouts Not quite enough, even with them upgraded to light cavalry. It is a big power spike, but not quite enough, as the second defense is coming in for the cavalry, and choosing to run away is probably the best decision right now. Lix needs to buy some time, get ahead as much as possible. He does have a fairly large farming economy. He is adding in his second town center, but when we look down, second town center is already on the way for Bad Koala as well.
Emret?
These archers are knocking on the door. And take a look at this. We do have chemistry coming in for Bad Koala. Chemistry already in. 22 minutes into the game with crossbows, already with Bodkin arrow. And Lix knowing his only response is Siege Workshop, as the third town center now for the Bohemian player is coming up. A tight little economy here in this tiny little base. So Lix does have quite a bit of extra space, but not quite enough. Villager does go down, but that villager going down, not as big of a deal at this point in the game as it would have been earlier on. Not too much right now when it comes to military for Lix, but what he does have is a mangonel on the way, and that mangonel, one good shot can turn the tides of this battle so quickly. One mangonel and these 9 light cavalry can easily win this battle should that mangonel get a shot in. Mangonel immediately comes forward. Husbandry coming in now at this point in time for the light cavalry, and so it will be touch and go whether he gets the good shot off with the mangonel. Lix does need to get a great engagement because there are more archers coming forward, and look at this 739 stone for the Bohemian player. We will see a castle being dropped shortly. As the villagers are going forward, oh my goodness, imagine a shot right now from this mangonel. And not the shot he wanted, not the shot at all. There is no other mangonel on the way. It is being built, but will it be enough? The castle going right down on that forward gold. That castle, fantastic location. If he can get that castle down, that will totally disrupt the economy of the enemy. Spearmen are coming forward, and they will be able to engage against the mangonel before the shot goes out. Unable to get up close, and these light cavalry are not going to be enough to engage against this many archers, especially with chemistry, especially with Bodkin already. Ballistics coming in at this point in time, and what can Lix do in response? Honestly, that chemistry upgrade is huge at this point in time, and the mangonel shot, very good shot. Not quite enough at this point in time though, as the castle will definitely be going up. And what does Lix have in response? He doesn't have enough stone for his own castle. He is frantically collecting gold up in the north and moving over to stone to try and drop a castle in defense. I love the castle of the Bohemians. But what can Lix do at this point in time? He is very uncharacteristically low on military, high on economy. The Hussite wagon, one unit that is fairly new, still interested to see what sort of damage it can do in major fights. Able to do quite a bit of damage on shots, but interesting to see what comes of it, as we see 3 sneak villagers from Lix, and this is where Lix excels. In messy situations, he is so capable of doing damage. When you think he's down and out, he is never fully out. Able to get some good engagements with the mangonel, taking out a couple of Hussite wagons. This town center able to protect a bit, but every time he's garrisoning in a town center, that means he is not collecting any resource. And he is falling further and further behind as we go. He needs some great shots, and that is one of them. Can he get another shot away with this mangonel? Fairly good, I guess, with these Hussite wagons. They just are so beefy and able to do so much damage output that it's difficult to engage against them. But the light cavalry might be enough to push back the onslaught for the time being. Will it be enough long term? I am not sure of that, as we do see another mangonel just barely missing the shot, but the cavalry getting the wraparound, able to engage all the way around the archers, and some good mangonel shots, all things considered, for Lix. He is doing a fantastic job with defense here. Much less military, much less economy, and he has successfully defended within his base. Still struggling on this town center to the west, but now he has a mangonel, and light cavalry will be coming out, but this one villager will be taking out the mangonel as a matter of fact. One or two light caps should be enough, but he doesn't have the farming economy anymore. He doesn't have any of the economy anymore to be supporting the production that he needs, as he does have light cavalry that are able to clean up the forward for now, and they will be moving out, but I do not know what can come of it, as a second castle is going up that will protect any raids below. We do see, interestingly enough, some hand cannons coming out for Bad Koala. Not sure of that decision, but it is a unique choice, and why not? At this point in time, he's far enough ahead where he can mess around, take out some hand cannons, and he is on the way up to the next stage already, so we will... Well, we won't see too much different other than maybe a couple of trebuchets coming out of these castles and just cleaning up the economy of Lix. These villagers able to collect the gold up front, and Lix slowly trying to take his way back into control. The mangonels and light cavalry have done damage, but I think once the Imperial Age is hit for Bad Koala, we will see the GG called, just because there is too much for him to engage against at this point in time. He is stuck in a corner. These Hussite wagons are so beefy. He is losing his gold on the front, and that is it. But of course, knowing Lix, he can always find a way. How many times have we said in the past that he is down and out and going to lose, and he somehow finds a way to get the win in the end? Light cavalry will be able to engage. Oh, that's a fantastic shot for Bad Koala. That was a great shot there. But the Imperial Age is hit now. Trebuchets will be coming out, and there is nothing really that's remaining for Lix to be able to engage with, as he will start losing more and more of his economy to these raids. Lix fleeing with 11 villagers over to collect some resources to the east of the map, but I will say it is pretty much the end of days for Lix for this game, as we do see the Hussite wagons. They can sit underneath the town center. It doesn't really matter for them. There's a trebuchet already attacking the town center, but it's not quite there. This town center will fall just so quickly, and even with the light cavalry, it is not enough to defend. Some battering rams coming out, but this is just the classic tale of Castle Age versus Imperial Age. This many battering rams, probably not enough at this point in time, although there's nothing really that's that Bad Koala has that can engage well against battering rams and light cavalry. Oddly enough, being that they have that spearman pikeman advantage. But now pikeman is coming in, and a castle has been dropped on Bad Koala's face. But it's at that point where yes, Lix is able to play messy. Lix is able to get those advantages while he can. But I just don't see how he can get enough to get ahead in this game. Bohemians proving to be quite a strong civilization, just having those little advantages here and there that just set them up for such success in the castle age. Of course, that's not throwing away the play of Bad Koala. Both of these players have played fantastically, but the advantage that chemistry and having those spearman upgrades has really goes a long way, as we do see more and more attacking on the town center and on the economy. Oddly enough, not a huge villager lead at this point in time for Bad Koala. He has a 10 villager lead, and that is it. Lix has done a fantastic job of booming back into this game, fleeing with more villagers to the west now. And he has taken out one of the town centers of Bad Koala. Bad Koala, of course, able to flee to the west as well. He does have town centers elsewhere. But villager counts falling little by little. And as you can see now, a 20 villager lead for Bad Koala. And now that the pikemen are out, they will be able to clean up everything that Lix is putting on the field. This castle will go up. Even if it gets denied shortly, he has more villagers than Bad Koala that can go up and build it, and that castle now goes up and just able to do so much damage. Lix calls the GG, and that is the classic Lix move of making a situation that looked completely impossible actually look possible for a second there. With these attacks, with the raids that he was able to do and holding off, fantastic play from both of these players, and a great look at the Bohemian advantages.